Hello students, welcome to the class. We were discussing the second chapter, utility analysis. In that way, already finished some of the topic. We finished the topic utility analysis introduction, features we finished, types we finished, concept we finished, and relationship we finished. Now we are going to come on the law of diminishing marginal utility. The law of diminishing marginal utility that we are going to study now. In this, the first slide, we can see the introduction and the statement of the law. The introduction of the law is that this law was first proposed by Professor Goosen but discussed in detail by Professor Alfred Marshall in his book Principle of Economics, published in 1890. So, this law diminishing marginal utility we discussed is before also. In the last last part, we discussed about the relationship between total utility and marginal utility. Total utility, how it is, we saw a schedule, we derive according to the schedule, a diagram was drawn and we studied it. This is the connecting part of that. We are taking only the marginal utility separately and we are stating that this law states that when we use one commodity continuously, the benefits or the utility diminishes. That is what we are going to state it. So, according to Professor Marshall, the definition, if you ask the definition of what is the law of diminishing marginal utility, you can write that other things remaining constant, the additional benefit which a person derives from a given increase in stock of a thing diminishes with every increase in the stock that he already has. So, the law states that means other things remaining constant. What are the other things? There are many factors when we consume anything. Consumption means we studied that when we means what is consumption, means taking or using something. We don't use anything like that only, we don't use. We must get benefit from it. If there is benefit, only we use something. So, what is the law says that other thing remaining constant. We are not taking any other things, that what is the need of the use or like that. Many things are there that we are not taking. We are using one by one the additional thing, one unit, without taking care of any other. The additional benefit which a person derives from a given increase in the stock of a thing diminishes with every increase in the stock that he has already has. So, whatever thing, same thing if you get again and again and again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that you get more. So, what happened? The benefit or the value diminishes. The law want to state that other thing remaining constant, the additional benefit which a person derives from a given increase in the stock of a thing diminishes with every increase in the stock that he already has. This can be stated with the help of a schedule and the diagram and the explanation. The schedule you have seen before also when we studied about the relationship between total utility and marginal utility. You saw the schedule. The unit of X consumed is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have taken 7 units of X and the benefits or the marginal utility derived from these units. It is first unit he got 10, second he got 8, third 6. While consuming the fourth unit he got 4, fifth unit he got 2, sixth he got 0, he don't have any utility, marginal utility, and 7 we can see that is minus 2. According to this schedule, when we see the diagram, we can see the y-axis, the utility is shown, and the x-axis, the commodity X is shown. So, when we consume 1 unit of X, the utility derived is 10. We can see this curve sloping downwards from 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 0. In the 0, it is in x-axis, and after 0, it is shown as minus 2 as negative. The explanation for the diagram, it is, you can explain the schedule also. In the schedule, what you will explain? In the given schedule, the unit of X is given and marginal utility is given. When 1 unit of X is consume, the marginal utility is 10. Second, it is 8. You can write full, or you can explain that when 1 unit it was 10 and the 7th unit it gone minus, 6th unit it went 0. It shows the utility is diminishing. This much you can write in the explanation of the schedule. When the diagram explanation come, you can write what you can write in the y-axis utility is depicted, shown. In the x-axis commodities are shown. MU curve slope downwards. From left to right, it shows that marginal utility goes on diminishing with every successive increase in the consumption of a commodity. So, successive increase in the consumption diminishes the utility. That is what we are going to state in this law. When MU becomes 0, what happens? You can see this MU curve touches the x-axis or intercepts the x-axis. Further consumption of the commodity brings this utility. We can say it is negative utility, which is shown with the shaded portion in the diagram. So, these are the part, that statement, introduction, statement, and we came to the schedule, then we came to the diagram's explanation is given. So, this much you have to concentrate. Simple points it is given in the slides, that it will help you when you read the textbook. In page number 13 it is given. When you read the textbook, you can get again thoroughly, you can just go through and what is given, and point wise I have taken it here. In this slide, you can see the assumption, exemption of the law of diminishing marginal utility, criticism of the law, significance of the law. Okay. Now, what is the assumption? Why we are making assumption while making a law? The law of diminishing marginal utility, first we have to assume this. We have to assume that these kind of conditions make the law to come into practice. Which are the assumptions? First, rationality. Second, cardinal measurement. Third, homogeneity, continuity, reasonability, constancy, divisibility, and single want. These are the 8 assumptions given for making the law successful. Means in this condition only the law will work. It is so that these are the conditions which essential that law will become in practice, or the law works in this way. The marginal utility, if the marginal utility is diminishing, because of these conditions it is. First, rationality means consumer is assumed to be rational. It means what? His behavior should be normal. And what must be his aim? His aim is to maximize the satisfaction. So, this is the rationality. Second, cardinal measurement. According to the law, the utility can be measured in number, numerically measured. In mathematical operation are easily possible to know compare the utility derived from each unit of the commodity. Now, you may be asking that how can we measure the utility? Okay, fine. When we drink 1 glass of water, if we get very good, very nice, we know that when we write 10 questions, 1 mark for each questions we are given, and if the person write it full correctly, he will get 10 out of 10. In this way, we can measure it. We can say that 1 glass of water, okay, 10, all the utility nice. Yeah, what I got 10. I am giving the number 10 for this 1 glass of water, 10. Okay, second glass he drank, he got the utility which he got, the benefit which he got, the marginal utility which is got, it is 8. Automatically, if somebody gives you something at the same time, that I will call you and say that, oh, hello, come here, you take this drink, means cool drinks I gave you. I didn't give you water, I gave you cool drinks. So, you said that first class, okay, very fine, I was so thirsty, wow, I am enjoying, I am very much satisfied, I am giving 10 marks. Then I gave another glass, very good, first satisfaction, he is good, and he drank it and got 8 marks. In the same way, third glass I gave, fourth glass I gave, said no, I want now. No, you drink, there is too much of drinks, you drink. Then fifth glass, sixth glass, seventh, sixth glass, he said that no utility, no use, you are wasting that, I don't want to drink it. So these are the conditions which with, we can measure it. And what I explained now, it is come in, all the points came in that explanation. That is, cardinal measurement means what? We can measure it. Hence, mathematical operation are easily possible for this. Third, it is homogeneity. Homogeneity means all the unit consumed should be same. One glass we took the same in the size, in the shape, in the color, in the taste, everything. It should be homogeneous. It should be same. It shouldn't be a very big glass, then small glass, then again small glass. No. We can measure this only when the things should be homogeneous. Same it is. Continuity. Continuity means we have to take one, then second in this at the same time. Not after a break. We should not take a break. When we use something, we should not take the break. We have to use it properly. Okay, that is why it is said there must be a continuity there. Then reasonability. Reasonability means all the units of the commodity consumed are reasonable in size. There, we mentioned it before also. In homogeneity also it came, the shape, size, everything should be same. In the this also we can see reasonability also, we can see that all the units of commodity consumed are reasonable in size. They are neither too big or no too small. Next is constant. Constant it should be all the factors relating like income, taste, habits, choice, like dislikes, consumer should be remain constant. Marginal utility of money is assumed to be constant. So marginal utility of money is assumed to be constant. So we must have a constancy in the like, dislikes. It's not constant, we have to become. No, now I used to, then only the law will become into practice, or law we can say it is working. The law is working. Divisibility. Divisible means divide. The law assumes the commodity consumed by the consumer is divisible so that it can be acquired small quantities. So there must be a divisibility. In the coming exemptions, you will say that, this thing you will study about the criticism. You will study how can we divide, but we should be divided. That things we can measure. And single want. A given commodity can satisfy a single want of the consumer. The law assumes that an experience of a single want which is completely suitable of a given point of time. Single want means if you are drinking water, that you are used it for drinking only, not for other purpose, washing face, washing hands, no. Only single use you have to, then we can measure that this happens. So these are the 8 assumptions. Okay students, now when we assume that this condition is essential, we can see in the slide there are exemptions to the exceptions to the law of marginal utility. What are the exceptions to the law? First one, the hobbies, miser, addiction, power, money. These are the exceptions to the law. Now hobbies means what we state that, what is the law? The law means other thing remaining constant, the additional benefit which a person derives from a given increase of his stock of a thing diminishes with every increase in the stock he already has. This is the statement of the law. Now for hobbies, exceptional case it is. It is exempted. These cases, this utility will not work. So which are the cases? Hobby means in the certain hobbies like collection of various stamps, coins, rare painting. In that hobbies, what if we get more, we are satisfied. It will not become, the benefits which is deriving will not diminishes. That is why it is an exceptional case. Next, miser. Miser means, who is a miser? Who don't give anything to anybody is a miser. That he keeps all the things, money or whatever he having, food particles, everything he will store and keep, he will not use. For this type of person, this marginal utility does not work. A marginal utility does not work in the case of miser. Next is addiction. Addiction means we are addicted to something. What is the addiction? Means it is observed that in the case of drunkards, the example is given drunkards, that the level of intoxicant increases with every additional unit of liquor consumed. So the mu received by the drunkard may increase. Actually in its only an illusion. This condition is similar to almost addiction. However, this violates the assumption of rationality. So this thing violates the assumption of rationality because the drunkards which he gets more is utility, is utility. But this is an illusion. This example is an illusion. It is said, but how? Why we have to teach it? That we have to make to understand that this law does not work in this condition because he is addicted to some other thing. If he get more and more of that thing, he is satisfied. He will not spoil that. He is getting the benefit. For this type of thing, it is an exceptions. Now the power means you know that कितना भी अधिकार हमको मिले हमको कम पड़ता है. अधिकार चाहिए. We must need power to many things. Power is very greed for person, human beings. Even to all living things, we can say that greed. This is an exception of the law because when a person acquires power, his lust for power increases. He desires to have more and more of it. However, again violates the rationality. Again, we say the rationality means what we studied about the rationality. All the units of commodity should be same. That is rationality. Sorry, rationality means the consumer should be rational. That I said all the units of the commodity should be said. It is reasonability. We are discussing about rationality. Rationality means he should be understanding person. So it means if a person power means we can't utilize this much of power. So again it is we have to write the exception, that is why money. It is said the marginal utility of money never becomes zero. It increases when the stock of the money increases. This is because money is the medium of exchange which is used to satisfy various wants. However, according to some economists, this law is applicable to money too. For example, marginal utility of money is more to a poor person than a rich person. The marginal utility of money is more for the poor person. So these are the exceptions. We studied about the assumption and the exemption of the law. So in this we studied about the 8 assumptions and 5 exemptions. The criticism of the law, it is, you can see in the slide, it is 5: cardinal measurement, unrealistic assumption, invisible goods, constant marginal utility of money, a single bond. We studied in the assumption also these things. We assume that this should be there, then only the law works. Now the criticism is there that this is not existed, this is not there. Criticism, ये नहीं है, ऐसा criticism बोल रहा है ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकते, कार्डिनल मेजरमेंट हो नहीं सकते, एक ग्लास वाटर को 10 mark, how can we give that, or 10 points how can, so this is a criticism. Now unrealistic assumption means what is the unrealistic assumption? Because we can't believe that satisfaction utility maximum karna, we can't believe that. That is indivisible goods means how can we take only these divisible goods? There are some of the indivisible goods which are there. TV, the person who watching more and more TV and we are the utility, we can't, that is a criticism given that. Then constant marginal utility of money. Marginal utility of money is constant, we assume that. But it is it correct? Critics argue that marginal utility of money differs from person. Means some of the person may be having more value for money, some don't have the value of money. Some of the how much money is getting is misusing it. So it is a criticism that it would single want. A thing cannot be used. A person will not take a thing for a single want. That is the statement which is given. Okay students, now all together it is a continuation. So I explained to you in this way. You can see when you read in the page number textbook 13 and 14, you can get all these things briefly explained in a simple language for you. So this assumption, exemption, criticism. Now significance of the law means why we study this. You when we go through that, just you have to keep in your mind usefulness to consumer, useful to the government, basis of paradox of value, basis of law of demand. Why we have to study this law? Because it is helpful to the consumer. How it is helpful for the consumer? It helps the consumer in to obtain maximum satisfaction to the available resources. आपके पास कितना चीज़ है उसमें आपको total satisfaction कैसे ला सकते हैं ये सिखाते हैं वो, इसलिए वो law important है. Useful of government, the government feel it beneficial. Why? Because to impose tax. Due to the tax policy, government seeks that marginal utility of money, marginal utility, law of diminishing marginal utility helps the government to tax in a proper way. Basis of paradox value. Paradox value means what it is. The law diminishes marginal utility helps us to understand the paradox value. What is paradox value? It includes goods that have more value in use, and zero or less value in exchange. Now, more value in use, for example, we can say water is more value in use. Water has a great value. Without water, we can't live. But if you exchange water, will you get something in exchange? No, that is not value in exchange. There is no value in exchange. So, value in use and includes goods that more value in use and zero or less value in, such as air, water, sunshine. It has more value in use but low exchange value. Okay, diamonds are what it is. Diamonds value, is there any value? Value is exchange value is there, but value in use is less. Every time it is essential that we want a gold ornaments to decorate ourselves. No. So this, to make this to understand, we study this law. So students, we studied about the assumption, exemptions, criticism and the significance of the law. Now we are going to study the relationship between marginal utility and price. Now what is relationship between this? This is only a chart given. You have to understand this in a proper way, that we can see in the say number of units. Number of units, it is shown 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Marginal utility of X. In the same we means in the chart it is given 10, 8, 7, 5, 3, 1. Now money in terms, marginal utility in terms of money means how we are giving the value of marginal utility, the money value how we are giving. We are studying about what? The relationship between marginal utility and price. In this marginal utility, you can see a schedule given. It is, there is first column, it is unit of commodity, that is number of unit consumed. In the second, it is given marginal utility of X. So what utility it is derived? From 1 unit, the utility derived is 10, second it is 8, third it is 7, fourth it is 5, fifth 3 and 6 1. You can see in the schedule. Now marginal utility in terms of money, for 1 unit, how many marginal utility is given? 10 units, how much it is? We measure that marginal utility is 10. Okay, so money in terms is, for 1 unit it is 10. For 1 unit it is 10 rupees. You have to understand, that is why 1 unit is equal to 10 it is given. So we can understand that for 1 unit it is 10 rupees. So what is the cost of the 10 unit, the marginal utility in terms of money when we compare in the terms of money? 1 unit it is 10 and for 10 unit it is 100. You can say 10 into 10. Now for 8 unit, 8 into 10 it is 80. For 7 into 10, 70, 5 into 10, 50, 3 into 10, 30, 1 into 10, 10. So these are the marginal utility in terms of money. Now you may be asking, where does the 10 came? We are assuming that we are giving that 1 unit is for 10 rupees. So 10 units is for 100 rupees. That is why we are doing this, because we want to compare it. We want to compare the marginal utility and the price. And we have to measure that according to the price, if the utility is okay, then we can purchase it. That is what we have to show. Now market price of X. Market price of X. Unit of X consumed, that we have given market price of X, it is 50. So 1 unit, you can see in the chart 50. Additional 1, 1 plus 1. So again he took, means second unit he took 2. So what is extra 1 is there. For extra that 150 rupees extra he paid. When the third unit already has taken third. So the third unit it is 50, sorry. Fourth unit it is 50, fifth unit. Means each unit 1 of x extra when it is taken it is, so 1 unit of x is 50 rupees the market price. Got it? Now comparison we have to make. What comparison we have to make? This is the price, market price, and that is the margin utility. In the chart 100, 80, 70, 50, 30, 10 is the margin utility in terms of money. For 1 unit 10 rupees is there. And you may be asking, what is this 50? This 50 is that for 1 utility we charge 10 rupees and for 1 unit we charge 50 rupees. Got it? The 1 unit of x it is charged 50 rupees. So now when we can compare it. In the last column comparison between we can see 100. So for when the person consume 1 unit of x, what he got the utility? He got 10. When we compare into the money, it was 100. What is the money given? 50 rupees. So the 100 utility is more than the price. You can say the utility 100 is more than the price. So 100 MU is greater than 50. In 80, you can see MU is greater than 50. 80 is greater than 50. In the third unit, 70 is greater than 50. So the margin utility is above the price. In the fourth unit, we can see the MU is equal to price, that is 50 is equal to 50. Then in the fifth unit, MU is less, price is more. And in the sixth unit, MU is 10 and the price is 50 because 50 rupees is for 1 unit. So we can see after the equilibrium, we can see the blue colored part as the equilibrium between when the price and the margin utility is equal. That is the equilibrium and a person consumes in that point more. If the margin utility is less than price, it is dissatisfaction, it is not satisfaction. So it is the explanation is given. The table explains the relationship between margin utility, MU and price. Units which a consumer willingly buys because of MU is greater than price are called intra-marginal utility. When marginal utility is more than the price, marginal utility प्राइस से ज़्यादा अगर है तो उसको हम यूटिलिटी इंट्रा मार्जिनल यूनिट्स बोलते हैं. इंट्रा मार्जिनल यूनिट्स एट विच MU become equals with market price is marginal unit. That is MU कौन सा point में था? MU price के साथ equal at the point when he consumed the fourth unit he got satisfaction. So it is shown that 50 is equal to marginal utility, 50 is equal to 50. Consumer's equilibrium. So which is consumer equilibrium? The blue colored portion given in the schedule, that is 50 is equal to 50. MU also 50, price also 50, that is consumer's equilibrium. Units which a rational consumer is not willing to buy and consumes where he has to pay more than the margin utility are called extra margin utility. So if margin utility is less and the price is more, it is extra margin utility. Thus, a rational consumer attains equilibrium where MU is equal to price. The relationship between margin utility and price pave the way for law of demand. So we studied the law of demand due to this margin utility. So that is why a person demand a product. The next chapter, in the third chapter, we studied about the demand analysis. So this chapter is useful for you. So students, just go through this all thing. I hope that you understood that. You go to the schedule. If you didn't understand that, you can ask me, you can call me, and just see students. All the students should see this presentation and study. And in the coming next means continuity, I will give you a deleted portion of this year for 2020 due to the corona reason. Some of the portions are deleted, so that the coming attached to this I will explain it to you. Thank you, students. Study nicely.